Hola clase, es tu profesora virtual y actual. También hola a señora Hendel, nuestra profesora bonus. Okay. Pausa, inglés. You should have just finished your Quizlet. We're going to use this set 1 because attendance appears to take forever, which is fine, to get your brain into Spanish. So it's going to be things like Quizlet, videos, 15 minutes if you really focus. I promise, like that's kind of like doing your sit-ups. You've got your core, you know the words I'm going to use. So if you did Quizlet right, you know when I say I personas, I un nave espacial, you're like, boom, I know it, there is. I. It's important to know. Can't go on if you don't know that. If I do, keep it simple. Let's say tiene. You hear that word tiene, it has to go in your brain as has. So if I say, el papá tiene dos hijos, throw back to last class, yo tengo dos hijos. You know that the dad has 2 kids. If I say, el papá tiene un trabajo, you know I'm talking about the dad has a job. So you did that set, you've got the words I'm going to work with in your head. Now we're going to build on. Everything with our stories, they just build, build, build. So the sooner you can get this set of words in your head, the easier the rest of class is. I'm going to take the Quizlet words. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to give your brain a break a little bit. So I hope you stretched. I'm going to talk about grades, but in Spanish, grades are like totally different. So it's going to be fast. And then September 28th, we're going to have like a whole an hour where I talk about grades. So I'm going to hold off because Spanish is different. It's kind of like band and chorus. It's different. So trust me. Then I'm going to do my lesson. That's when I'm going to take those set of words based on something we're doing later with a video and a song in Spanish. I've got a story I'm going to tell you. We're going to work in our notebook on that story. Mrs. Hendel, our favorite bonus teacher, can pause me, take a break. I'll give you the directions for what to do in Schoology, and then the story I'm going to tell you, and you're going to have notes in your notebook on the story. You're going to read it, and I'm going to ask you questions. So, you're awesome. I can tell already. I love looking at your surveys. It's going to be awesome. So, the welcome to my classroom part. We're going to do a little bit each day. You know what you need, notebook, minimum, something to write with. Life is nicer with washi tape and colored pencils, I think, but it's up to you. Grading. Spanish is a performance class. You perform in my class. That's totally different. There's no other class. Like your earth science teacher is not going to be like, quick, identify that rock while I stare at you. That doesn't happen. In my class, I'm like, speak Spanish to me. Let's talk in another language. I have to see what you can do. So the grading part is different. To start, grades are 80, novice low. Novice low means if someone says something to you in Spanish like, hi, my friend, how are you today? You can be like, friend, hi. That's an 80. It's a jump to novice mid, which is 90 land. 90 to start 9th grade. So like an 85, maybe 90 last year. You're kind of starting to get it. If someone says, hi, my friend, how are you? You can say back like, oh, hey, what's up? What are you doing later, maybe? And here's 100 land. 100 land now was like 100 land last year. After 2 years of sitting in Spanish, you can talk about yourself. When you did that little writing form for me last class, you were the people who were like, yep, got it. I can write a paragraph about myself. I know how to say I am. I know how to say what I have, what I like to do. I can explain a little bit. I know my endings. I can talk about my amazing soccer career. Um, that's not a sign. End of the year and into Spanish 3, we're in a 2-year sequence. This is where you have to end up. I'm going to stop grading now by telling you, like, I'm going to actually just ask you to trust me. You're going to be fine. You come to class in Spanish, you do the work. So far today, that means you showed up and you did 15 minutes of Quizlet where you matched words. You're doing the work. If you stay with me, I'm going to ask you to do a quick sketch, write down one word, make a list, draw a smiley face or a sad face, and make a prediction. That's the bulk of your learning today. So compared to those of you who are in pre-AP and are reading like stuff like that, right? Spanish is different, but you're also the kids who are really intelligent. You're going to 4-year colleges. That's why you're in this class. So the challenge is we're doing it in another language. The story I'm going to tell you today, when I'm done, your grade for the day is self-assessing. I've got a form that's a 5-star review. One means this lady was asking me to do stuff. She was talking about spaceships, but I don't even know what a spaceship is. Oh my God, what is going on? And we can work with that. I can get you up to speed. That means you probably didn't pay attention last year and you really don't know Tiene, I, Dice, Quiere, the stuff they kept like banging in your head in calendar talk. We'll get there. I think a lot of you are going to be pretty comfortable. If you paid attention, you brought the right attitude to Quizlet, you'll get the story. And that's a good thing. You know, it's nice for you to be like, yay, awesome Spanish. So, if you have your notebook, yay you. You might be able to look at something that says 9:14 and you've got some words written down. And then we're going to scroll over. We don't waste paper in here. 9:15. Or my other group that I haven't seen yet, I'll see you soon. 9:17, you write down that date. So this is the date the second last lesson in our cycle is happening. I would, because I'm awesome, make a note for myself. The note I would make, first line in my notebook, vocab words on Quizlet. So when you go back, September 28th, when we talk about grades and after talking about astronauts in space and Earth and all this stuff in Spanish, you'll be able to have a discussion with me about stories, comparing things, lessons you learned, and you'll have this resource. So if you want to go back and study in school, you'll know to look back for your vocab words on Quizlet in the Set 1 folder. I wrote that down in parentheses. And then you've got a blank page. So bonus teachers and your handle, when you pause me, make sure everyone is set up for success. That means they have a piece of paper. Friends at home, pause me, if you need paper. You've got something to write with. You've got the date on your paper. Paper, pen, date, paper, pen, date. Go do it. Okay, assume I'm unpaused. You understand. If you can get a couple words out of the story, I'm going to tell you a story about space. If you've got space, area, lives, emotional, and that's probably 70, but close to an 80. If you can tell me real details, 90. If you can add on to your details, you're at 100. You're going to rate how much you understood, 1 through 5, just like Amazon. How much of the story. And it's going to be, I use the 16 font because I'm old. This is it. Like, I'm thinking maybe 11, 12 minutes. But it's all in Spanish. I'm not going to do any English, except for once when I'm going to give you directions where I want you to write in English. Otherwise, just Spanish. The first part is going to be on the top half of your page. Divide your page in half. There's going to be a picture on the top half, some words on the bottom, okay? Starting with the top half. And then I'm drawing a line where I have my vocab words notes. I'm matching that star. It looks good. We're set up. We all have paper pen. We know the date. When you know you're working on the top half of the page. So, el cuento empieza en el planeta de la Tierra en tiempos modernos, 2020. El cuento empieza en 2020. El cuento empieza en un área muy rural. No hay casas, no hay supermercados, no Target, no hay escuelas, hay muchas montañas. Top half of your page, 30 seconds. Sketch what you heard. Okay. Still focus on the top half of the page. Aquí, en esta área rural vive una familia. La familia tiene una casa grande y remoto. La casa está en las montañas. Hay muchas plantas y árboles cerca de la casa. Another 30 seconds. Add to your drawing what you just heard. Casa grande, muchas plantas y árboles. Drawing dibujar. Okay, you're moving below your drawing now. I'm going to tell more of the story and stop and ask you to write one word. Hay una familia grande en la casa. Los miembros de la familia son abuelo y abuela, mamá y papá, y sus 3 hijos. Ellos tienen una casa muy grande, remoto, rural, en las montañas con plantas y árboles. Y hay una familia grande, personas. Ellos son parte de una familia feliz y unida, feliz y unida. Write down one word. What was the main idea? If you can get the main idea. You're right between novice, mid, novice, high. Depends on the passage. I'd say this is a solid novice mid. I'm going to go, what's the main idea? One word. Okay. El papá de la familia tiene un trabajo muy interesante. En su casa tiene un laboratorio con experimentos y modelos del espacio. El papá es muy inteligente, muy científico. Modelos del espacio. No es un trabajo típico o normal. El papá es astronauta. Él es parte del programa internacional de astronautas. Programa internacional. Un día. This is a new word. If you really want to try hard, write that down at the top of your notes paper. Un día. One day. That's on your unit test. Un día. Él recibe, el papá recibe información de su programa. Probablemente un texto. Recibe información. Él va a ir al espacio. Él va a ir al espacio. I'm going to pause a whole minute. 60 seconds. Write down as many details as you understood from that paragraph. What's going on with the dad and the family? As much as you can write down. 1 minute, go. Okay. 2 more to go. Es un tiempo muy emocional para la familia. Ellos están muy emocionados porque su papá va al espacio. Va a ir al espacio. También están tristes porque ir al espacio es peligroso. Explosión, fuego, extraterrestres. El papá dice, todo va a estar bien, no te preocupes. Draw me some emojis. What's going on with the fam? That paragraph is about feelings, the internal life of the characters. Show me those with emojis. Last paragraph. En el día oficial, el papá va a la estación del espacio para preparar. Toda la familia mira por la televisión. Miran a su papá en su nave espacial. Escuchan. Toda la familia mira y escuchan. 5, cuatro, tres, dos, last thing on your paper. And this is going to show me if you're novice mid, you're novice high, maybe you're even intermediate low. Who knows? Haven't met you yet. Make a prediction. We're going to be coming back to this story a couple times. You're going to see a music video that relates to this. You're going to have another story that relates to this. Like, this is kind of our framework. So, minutes I'm going to ask you to spend on this. Make some predictions in Spanish. I want you to write in Spanish. I want you to use what you have. You know there are. You know who's the astronaut. You had to spell astronaut to pass that test on Quizlet. You know how to say has. You know how to say lives. You know how to say goes. You know the word dangerous. I threw explosion in there. Just saying. Show me what you can do in your notebook. And then I come back. I'll eventually look at these. Make your prediction. I'm waiting for the clock to tick. That's why I'm stalling. So, minimum 2 sentences, but I think a bunch of you can create more. Yep, the clock just ticked. On your mark, it set, go, 3 minutes, right. Predictions. What's happening in this story? One more minute. It's going to be a happy story. Feliz, sad story. Triste. You tell me. How did you feel? You know how to say feel in Spanish? If you saw your dad sitting in a spaceship? Don't get scared. My video's coming back on. Okay. So you've got a nice outline of the story in your notebook. You've got some pictures. You've got some words. Today I'm seeing how you listen and how you read in Spanish. So I'm taking a look at your writing on those forms you did last class. If you need to catch up, that's what Wednesday's for. Like, you know, the internet goes out and you've got time through Wednesday. We're all going to see each other for 20 minutes on Wednesday. I'm going to talk a little bit more about grades and assignments. Give you a pep talk for how awesome you're doing. If you look at the plan, I've got a brain break built in. If bonus teacher, you want to pause me, let them stretch, breathe. We'll be doing all that kind of stuff. I'll give you directions. Those are going to be short because you're just reading, and we did longer with the listening today, which is awesome. You're going to read, and then when you finish that on Schoology, you're good. So, I'm out, pause me, stretch. I'll imagine I come back on in a second. Okay, back, direction time. The story you listened to, I took it and I turned it into a couple different activities on Schoology. There's some put in order, a little matching, you know, a little this, a little that. Take your time. Here we go.